So it's Sunday, it's the hottest day of the year so far. We're only just into April and I think it's going to be like 18 degrees or something today. So it's t-shirt weather here. The kids are on the trampoline, you might be able to hear them in the background with shorts on. We have a little update of what's going on outside in the garden. First of all, there's one thing that we can see growing here. We've got our tomatillos and two types of tomatoes that we're growing. As you can see, they're all coming up nicely. Not going to quite repot them yet. I'll give them another few days, I think, and then I'm going to get the bigger ones and start putting them in their own pots so they can grow unaided. And they're staying inside, by the way. They're not living outside. They're living on a window ledge and just keeping them watered. But they've come up really nicely so far, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Because of the situation at the minute, I'm planning on growing a lot more than I originally would. And normally, with tomatoes, what I will end up doing is having maybe 6 plants. Oh, balloon just popped. Kids are playing with balloons, by the way. I'd have about 6 plants, and I'd use those and just throw the rest away. But I'm going to try and plant as many of these as I can find pots for, try and get as many tomatoes as possible. Because you use tomatoes with everything, can't you? There's a shortage of chopped tomato, tomato sauce at the minute, so you can do that. You can sun dry them with a bit of oil and stuff like that, or oven dry them, and just eat them like that. So tomatoes are going to be quite a big thing. I want to get some basil as well, because tomato and basil goes lovely, doesn't it? But that's not today's issue. So these, they're going to go along nicely. And the tomatillos are going to be for salsa, because I'll have a bit of Mexican food. But there's a lot of other stuff going on in the garden at the minute. I've got 15 buckets of potatoes now on the go. First earlies, second earlies, and main crop. And we had a little bit of a frost the other night, like -1, and I came out, there's a bit of frost over. So I don't know if everything I've planted's dead or not, and nothing's come up. So I'm just going to give it another week and see if anything across the garden has sort of planted or anything sort of germinating, anything sort of coming through. I'll try that. But if it doesn't, I don't know, I might have to sort of dig things up and replant some bits. I think the potatoes should be fine because they're quite sturdy, but there's like peas and parsley and lettuce and stuff over there. I'm not sure how well that'll do in those situations. We're going to plant some more stuff here. We've got Brussels sprouts. These are the long game. Plant them now. We're going to sow them in here, keep them inside for a bit while they grow, and plant them back out in May or June, something like that. And then they're not going to be harvesting them till like next winter. So from maybe November onwards, sort of thing. So they're playing the long game. I'm also going to play the long game with some asparagus seeds. Now, I've never successfully grown asparagus properly because you have to grow it a year in advance. So I'm going to get nothing this year for them. I'm going to play the long game because when you get British asparagus in season, I'm not saying that in a sort of EDL way, I'm saying like asparagus that's locally grown and not been transported long distances. Those like few weeks where you've got British asparagus is amazing in June. It's unbelievable. June, maybe July. So I'm going to plant these now, and then they should last for like 20 years if you don't disturb them. So I'm not going to get any asparagus this year, but I'm going to start growing them now. And then finally, cucumber in here. We get through quite a few cucumbers. The kids really enjoy them. So we're going to sow these in here as well, plant them out in sort of May, June time, and then we'll be harvesting them sort of probably late July, August, September, that sort of time. You like kits? You like cucumbers? Gonna be in the video?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we've got this flat compost, and we're going to do 2 little rows. I'm going to dig little rows for them, and we'll open those seeds up, and you can plant your cucumbers in a nice little row along here, and then cover them up. Do you want me to open it for you?
Yes. How big are the seeds?
I'm not sure. I don't think they're very big. We'll have a look. Some things are... Yeah, I mean, you can see cucumber seeds in cucumbers. They're not that big, are they? You know, in the middle of them, you always see the seeds, don't you? Oh, they're quite big. Well, they're really big, aren't they? I thought they were going to be a lot smaller. I've given massively wrong information there. You see those? They're quite big, aren't they? Surprisingly big seeds for cucumbers. I don't think we've ever tried growing cucumbers before, have we?
No.
So, if you hold out your hand, and then I'll put them in your hand, and then I'll give you the instructions for how to grow them. So we've only got 6 seeds, so hopefully they'll all germinate and we'll get 6 cucumber plants. And then I imagine you get quite a lot of cucumbers per plant. We eat a lot of cucumbers, don't we?
Yes.
Who eats the most cucumbers, do you think?
Me.
Do you?
Miss Hummus.
Oh yeah, you do. Very middle class, though, isn't it? It says sow them under glass, so I imagine if it's in a window that might be alright. But these we just want to put them in oh no, it says, do you know what, it says to put them straight into pots. So we won't put those here. Let me go get some pots, back in a second.
I thought, why are we putting them in here? Because they grow up to about this height.
So what we've got is, I've got this thing, it needs a clean, it's been on the side for ages. It's I think it's called a propagator. You use it like a little mini greenhouse. We'll use that. I'll give it a wash before we use that part of it. And I've got these little pots here, and they're quite good because they're biodegradable. So you can plant them straight in the ground on the outside, and they'll grow there. So if I get 6 of these, if I get compost and fill 6 of these up, sound good? And then I can just use this for now, and then we'll get some more in a second. So there's one little pot there, Kits, if you want to put that in there. And then we'll just cover it up with a bit more compost here. And that can go, that's one done nicely there. Do you think vegetables that we've grown ourselves are better than ones that you just buy in the shop? Do you think they taste nicer?
Yeah.
I do. So if I make another pot here, I put a little hole, and you can start putting the seeds in. In we go. Nicely done, Kits. So there we go, we've got 6 little cucumber plants. Clean the lid up, put it on top, and then that should hopefully help them grow nice and quickly. Okay, Brussels sprouts next. How big do you think Brussels sprout seeds are going to be, Kits? Big or small?
Tiny.
Tiny? Let's have a look. Why is that? Because Brussels sprouts are tiny? Oh, you're right, they are tiny. So what we'll do, we'll make a little groove. Do you want to make a groove, or do you want me to do it? So you've got somewhere to sow your sprouts. Oh gosh. And these, you just want to spread them out all the way through there. We won't use all of them, we can keep some for another day. That's cool, so make sure they're nicely spread out all the way along. And then can you cover them up with compost? I'm excited to have some winter vegetables, and we're going to be doing late season potatoes as well. And I like the thought that you can start your growing now, and then on Christmas Day we'll hopefully have Brussels sprouts from the garden to eat. I do really like Brussels sprouts, and so I'm pretty pleased that I've gone and got the seeds there. Hopefully they'll work, and hopefully we'll get them coming through later in the year. Need to label them as well, that's the other thing. You don't want to forget what you put where and forget what plants what, so I'm just going to write Brussels sprouts, label sprouts. There we go, I'll pop that in there, and then we'll know what's what. Asparagus next, and we're just going to make another little trench down there for the asparagus. You like asparagus, Kitty? No, makes your wee smell funny, doesn't it? It's a true fact. You know, not everyone gets funny smelling wee from asparagus. It depends on your body, I read somewhere. But I do quite like that. I forget I've eaten asparagus, and then I go for a wee and I go, oh yeah, I had asparagus, I didn't know. So we're going to use the rest of these, and I'm just going to spread them out in a line here. I'm not sure that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, it says put them in individual pots again. One of the things I've started doing since I've been here, because it is a weird time, isn't it? Because I'm homeschooling kids, which takes up quite a bit of my time, and there's other things that are a bit different from normal situation. But I've started doing a podcast with Lloyd Griffith, the comedian, that's called Cooped Up. It's on all the usual things. And we do that at 5:10 every day, just after I've made the kids dinner. And I really like it because it's not something I've got any particular aim of it being a massive podcast. It's just something that while we're in here about us talking about our time in isolation. But I really like it because it gives me sort of structure to the day. Like I know at 5 o'clock I do this and I speak to someone, and Lloyd lives on his own, so I think it's nice for him to speak to someone as well. And it's quite good. So I think if you can find some kind of structure in this, it's probably quite helpful. And it's a good time to do something creative if you so desire, like writing or a podcast or a YouTube thing or something like that. So give it a go. Nice to have a little regular thing you do. A bit more normal. So I get a lot of nice messages from people telling me that the videos, in particular gardening videos, help with depression and anxiety and stuff, which is something I didn't expect when I started it. And it's been lovely to hear that. And I get a lot of those at the minute in particular. We're talking about things at the minute, people are saying that while they're in lockdown, videos are sort of helping them, the more peaceful gardening ones in particular. So I'm glad those are helping. And I will continue to make them as much as possible. I hope to be able to make them more regularly than I have been, but homeschooling kids is quite hard work, so I'll try and get into more of a rhythm and try and get more out over the coming few weeks. Hi Ate, look, plants. So there we go, a nice mix of asparagus and cucumber plants in there that are going to grow nicely over the next 15 days or something. We should hopefully see some kind of seeds coming through. What do you think, Kits? We have lots of food this year, aren't we? Tasty. We've got a bit of unexpected space in here because I've just done the Brussels sprouts down there. So I'm not sure what should we do. Should we do another row of Brussels sprouts in here, Kits, do you think?
No.
We'll leave it like this for now.
Pizza.
What?
Pizza.
You want me to grow pizza? You can tell Kitty hasn't been to school for a while. She thinks she can grow pizza in a plant. Should we have a look at the wormery, Kits? So here's the wormery. A lot of you have been asking for wormery related updates, and this is it. It doesn't normally live out here, it's inside, but you can pick up a wormery and carry it around, so it's quite good. Basically, cut a long story short, I don't know if you can see from there, but the lid for worms on escape zones. The wormery is pretty much full here. A few bits around here. Oh, I'll just put a hand in. That's disgusting. But yeah, it's pretty much full. Worms, you can see there's one up there at the side. They're active. They're doing their business. They all seem to be alive. What we're going to do is we're going to check first of all if we've got any worm diarrhea, because we can use it to feed some of the potatoes maybe. So let's have a look for our first glass of refreshing worm diarrhea. Oh yeah! So there we go. I mean, we've not emptied it there, but there's still like about a pint there of worm diarrhea. I'm not going to drink it. Doesn't smell great, if I'm honest, but it's not supposed to smell great, is it? It's supposed to make the plants good, but it's got a slight manure-y sort of scent to it. So I probably won't have a drink of it, but it's going to be good for the garden. You dilute it in a watering can and just do it. So I'm going to put that over some of the crops over there in a second. Once the level of the wormery is full, and this is the first time I've done it, all you do, take it off here, and you get the next level of wormery. Put it on top, it'll push down, and there you go. I mean, there's nothing in there at the minute. I don't want to spill it, you can probably see there's nothing going on in that. But what will happen is, over time, from this bottom section, they'll work their way up to this top bit because they'll run out of food down there and they'll work their way up. And then eventually, once you've got the third level on, the worm should have finished off in this and come all the way up, and you can use the bottom for compost. If you're into the wormery and want to know more about it, I do post regular Instagram story updates of what's going on in the wormery, because it normally lives in my kitchen. So follow me on Instagram, the thing down somewhere, and you can keep up to date with worm news, if you will. It's a good opportunity as well, if the weather keeps getting better like it is at the minute, to get the smoker out and do a few smoking videos, because they're always to be quite popular. I find that obviously Steve the fireman can't come round because he's off being a hero and you're not allowed to have people around, so I'll have to substitute them in with one of the kids or something, and they can help make some smoked food. If I can get hold of some charcoal as well, that's the other thing. Maybe they'll have it in the supermarket, I don't know. But yeah, I think a lot of barbecuing and a lot of time outside, so you're not too cooped up inside and kids on screens and stuff like that is probably the future for the Knox family for the next few weeks. It's just a brief vlog today. In fact, it's actually an emergency vlog because I recorded some pretty amazing content yesterday. I did a video, Friday it was. I did a video of untangling an extension lead, and it was, I reckon, 80,000 views minimum. But I had the wrong autofocus mode on, so I've not looked back at the footage yet, but I know it's not going to be good enough, and I can't retangle an extension lead because the magic of it was genuine. It was like real content. You'll see right through it if I just tangled up deliberately. It wouldn't be the same tangle. So I've had to drop that, and maybe in a year's time we can revisit that if the extension lead gets tangled again. I've got a few other videos that I filmed and just haven't edited yet. I haven't had time to edit, and I'm going to try and get these things out, but I'm going to try and be as regular as I can during this thing. But thanks for watching, and maybe press the like button if you get 20,000 likes. I'll drink a glass of worm diarrhea, a little bit of it.